Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Community Steel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and here we go. We're going to dive on into today's vehicles, and the first vehicle I am showing off is the 2S14, also known as the Zalo. I actually did a Armored Warfare replay featuring the real Zalo, or, well, more or less, the Zalo from Armored Warfare, and I was actually quite surprised to see someone created this. This is from Sergey 00102, and it does actually feature the 85mm gun. It's got okayish mobility. I wouldn't write home to mom about it, although it does have a powerful 85mm gun. It's got some good penetration, and it is featured for late war. Now, some of you who are actually acquired to armored vehicles and stuff like that, you'll probably say this is a BMP with a anti-tank turret, and well, that's sorry, not a BMP, a BTR, and well, that's exactly what it is. If I recall correctly, it was a BTR 70 with a anti-tank turret designed with a super high velocity 85mm gun. It didn't really go into production and never got out of prototype stage, but it was a pretty cool idea that the Soviets had at the time for a cheap anti-tank vehicle. That being said, this actually doesn't seem all that bad. It looks quite good, actually. It looks pretty close to what the real vehicle looked like. It's just its mobility could be a little bit more to be desired, which I suspect that's probably actually got to do with the way the wheels and the road wheels and that are set up. Wheels still really hasn't been properly put into the game, if you will. But that is the 2S14 from Sergey. The next vehicle we have up is from That Person UK, and this is his Object 279, which it sort of looks like an Object 279. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's not a bad rendition, although he's got it quite heavy at 108 tons. Yes, folks, that is quite ridiculous tonnage. And it's got a 130mm main gun with 235mm of penetration. I don't think there's a vehicle that could actually absorb a shot from this thing, except for maybe a lucky bounce. But either ways, good lord. And it actually does feature some pretty decent mobility for how damn heavy this vehicle is. So there it is, the Object 279. The next vehicle I have going here is the T62, and this is from Captain Deadlock. And this is his 42-ton T62A. It's got the 115mm main gun. It actually is very mobile, and the armor seems incredibly effective. This take is actually pretty ridiculous in the sense of Sprocket and in the range that I normally do my vehicles at, which is around World War II, maybe some Cold War vehicles, but World War I, World War II is mostly what I personally focus on for my collection of vehicles. And this thing's just pretty damn good. It's got medium tank mobility with heavy tank firepower, decent armor due to its rounded shape, and honestly, this thing actually does look like a T62. So I have to tip my hat off to him for making a very good rendition of the T62. The next vehicle I have up it's a car. This is the AE86 from Justin Chan, and yes, it's a car. Yeah, I tried to drive this thing around quite a bit. It drifts a lot, and it has no armor. And as you can see, I keep wrecking the vehicle. I literally just folded it in half right there. I mean, this vehicle is hilarious fun just to mess with. So, yeah, check it out. Justin Chan, AE86. This thing is just so ridiculous. It is fun to play with, though. It's ridiculously fast. It's got no armor. And he actually did. I don't know if you get a good look at it here. Look at that. I think I do get a good look at it here. He even modeled a driver, folks. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, the next vehicle is the HBT 12 by Picture Perfect. This is an interwar heavy tank, and it is thick, boy. It bounces all kinds of stuff. It is pretty slow, but yeah, it's thick. I mean, it's just bouncing all kinds of stuff here. And I like how it's kind of got that look of a simplistic design, let alone that it kind of looks like an infantry tank. It kind of looks like it's reaching that infantry tank type deal where it still has the side skirts on the tracks. The tracks are still covered on the sides like a World War I type tank. But then it's also kind of got a more modern-ish turret for an interwar period vehicle. So it's actually kind of cool, and I do like the gun's performance. The gun actually performs really well on this vehicle. I'm just going to let this drive around a little bit. You guys can take some good looks at it. I like how he's got the different engine louvers to it. And he used also the Panzer 38T gun mantlet, which kind of gives it a cool look. I mean, it's definitely a cool looking vehicle. Okay, finally, the last vehicle for today's Community Steel video is the T49 from Helzy XOXO, and this is her T49. Although it's got side skirts, which kind of confuses me. I don't remember the T49 having side skirts, but that's neither here nor there. It does weigh in at 32 tons, and it is quite ridiculously fast. That being said, it is thin armored. It's like pretty much all engine and gun, and it does actually have the 152 millimeter gun with the XM 551 or the Sheridan turret, and it's actually quite mobile. Although I dirked myself right there. Yeah, that's the problem with really fast vehicles. Anyway, folks, that's going to wrap up today's Community Steel video. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Stuff like that, because it helps me grow. Anyway, folks, have yourself a wonderful day.